If you're finding that your Mazda MX-5 is full of water, you have wet carpets and water sloshing up and down the sills as you drive, then there are 2 sets of drains that you need to approach and make sure that they're unblocked. The first set is just out on the outside forward end of the seatbelt reel. If you just move the carpet back away, you can see there's a little tray there with a hole at the back end of it. Now, I've got my finger down in that hole there, and what you need to do is you need to rod that out, but you need to go from the top down because there's a little kind of non-return valve on the bottom end of it. So basically use like a long rod or whatever tickles your fancy to make sure that any leaves and debris are cleared out of those holes, and do that on both sides. 90% of the videos I've seen online seem to stop there, but there are other drains. There's another 8 holes that you need to look at. And these are along the sills. So you can see there are 2 at the front and 2 at the back on either side, and these are completely closed up. It seems to be a case where they get kind of crimped over with a trolley jack, or they end up with just underseal or paint in them, or just rust. And there's 2 on the back on either side, so that's a total of 8. So what you can do is you can start with something like a cable tie and see if you can just poke them out with that. Not a word of a lie, I did this on my wife's car, and I think we probably got about 5 litres of water out of the sills. I didn't even think there was that much of a volume in the sills to hold that much water. So the car is going to be an awful lot lighter now after doing all of that. So just looking here, these are completely crimped over, so what we need to do is knock a screwdriver into them and open them up again. It's not a great design, to be honest with you. You can see the screwdriver's wet there, but what we've to do is do the back end of it, because it's parked on a bit of a hill, so all the water will have pooled at the back. And there we go. I'll do the other one while we're here as well. Look at that. And about a minute later it's still running, so I'm going to do the other side now as well. Simple little trick for your MX-5, and something of a design flaw on Mazda's part on them, to be honest with you. It's far too easy for them to get blocked, but it's done now anyway, so that's all sorted. All 8 drains along the channels are unblocked, and the roof drains were also completely blocked up as well. And this car did have a wet carpet inside it, so that wet carpet should be no more. We'll leave it dry out. What you could do is, if the weather's nice, leave the roof open for a while. Hope that helped. Thanks for watching. Take care.